In the scorched valleys of a forgotten war, where the earth itself seemed to bleed from endless artillery fire, Sergeant Elias Thorne crouched in a muddy trench. The battlefield stretched like a scarred canvas under a relentless gray sky, dotted with craters that swallowed men whole. Elias, with his rugged jawline and eyes like stormy seas, had seen too many dawns break over this hellish landscape. At 32, he carried the weight of lost comrades on his broad shoulders, his once vibrant spirit now a flickering ember. Beside him was Private Amelia Voss, a young woman of 24 whose delicate features belied her fierce resolve. Her name evoked the grace of a soaring bird, but here on the ground, she was rooted like an ancient oak, unyielding. Amelia had joined the fight not for glory, but for the memory of her brother, lost in the first waves of invasion. Her hands, calloused from gripping her rifle, trembled only when she thought of home, a quaint village where wildflowers bloomed unchecked. The platoon huddled together, a ragtag family forged in fire. The air hummed with tension. Whispers of an impending assault rippled through the ranks. Elias scanned the horizon, his binoculars glinting in the faint light. "Stay sharp," he muttered, his voice a low rumble that cut through the distant thunder of explosions. Amelia nodded, her hazel eyes fixed on the sky, where clouds churned like angry gods, as the sun dipped low, casting long shadows over the battlefield. A faint roar pierced the chaos. Heads turned upward. A jet streaked across the heavens, its sleek form a silver arrow against the fading blue. It was one of theirs, a reconnaissance fighter, perhaps, or a bomber returning from a mission. But in that moment it was more than machinery. It was a symbol of freedom. Untethered from the mud and blood below, Elias felt a pang in his chest. The jet's passage reminded him of his daughter Lily back home. She was only 8, with curls like sunlight and a laugh that could melt the coldest heart. In his last letter, he'd promised her stories of the stars, not the graves. Amelia, too, watched with wide eyes, her mind drifting to the letters from her love, a poet named Julian who wrote of dreams beyond the war. The soldiers murmured in awe. "Look at that beauty," one said. Free as a bird. But Elias knew better. Freedom was an illusion here on the earth where every step could be your last. As the jet vanished into the distance, a hush fell over the trench. Little did they know, that fleeting sight would ignite a chain of events that would test their souls. Night descended like a shroud, blanketing the battlefield. In inky darkness punctuated by flares that bloomed like deadly fireworks, Elias and Amelia shared a ration bar in the dim glow of a lantern, their breaths visible in the chill air. The jet's memory lingered, a spark of hope amid the despair. "Did you see how it cut through the clouds?" Amelia whispered, her voice soft yet steady. "Like it owns the sky." Elias chuckled faintly, a rare sound in this place. "Yeah, but we're stuck down here with the dirt. The earth doesn't let go easy." He traced a finger through the mud, drawing absent patterns, perhaps a map home or a grave marker. Their conversation turned to dreams. Elias spoke of Lily's innocent questions about the stars, how she'd ask if he could touch them from the trenches. Amelia shared Julian's poems, verses that painted peace in vivid colors. But tranquility shattered with the scream of incoming shells. The enemy advanced under cover of night, their silhouettes ghostly in the moonlight. Gunfire erupted, tracers arcing like fallen stars. Elias barked orders, his leadership a beacon in the storm. "Hold the line! Amelia, cover the flank!" She fired with precision, her rifle an extension of her will. Bullets whizzed past, one grazing Elias's arm, drawing blood that mingled with the soil. Pain flared, but he pressed on, pulling a wounded comrade to safety. The battle raged, the ground trembling as if the earth itself rebelled. In the midst of chaos, the roar returned. The jet, or another like it, thundered overhead, its afterburners igniting the sky in a blaze of orange. This time it wasn't passive. It dove low, unleashing a payload on the enemy lines. Explosions lit the night, turning the battlefield into an inferno. Cheers rose from the trenches as the tide turned. "Air support!" someone yelled. Yet triumph was bittersweet. As the jet pulled up, banking sharply, a surface-to-air missile streaked from the shadows. It struck true. The aircraft erupted in flames, spiraling downward in a fiery helix. Elias's heart stopped. "No!" he roared, watching the pilot eject, a tiny figure against the blaze. The parachute bloomed like a fragile flower, drifting toward their position. Amelia sprinted forward, dodging debris, her determination unyielding. She reached the pilot first, a woman named Captain Alara Kane, her face smeared with soot, eyes wide with shock. "Thank you," Alara gasped, clutching a broken arm. In her other hand she held a locket inside a photo of a child much like Lily. The soldiers formed a protective circle, the earth cradling their weary bodies. The jet's wreckage smoldered nearby, a stark reminder that even the skies could fall to the ground's grasp. Dawn broke over the battlefield, painting the sky in hues of crimson and gold, a mocking beauty amid the ruins. Elias, bandaged but unbroken, stood vigil over the wounded. Amelia knelt beside Captain Alara, sharing water from her canteen. The pilot's story unfolded in hushed tones. She had flown countless missions, her jet a guardian angel for those below. But this time, fate had pulled her down to earth, forcing her to face the raw humanity she protected from afar. As medics arrived, evacuating the injured, Elias gazed at the horizon where the jet had first appeared. The war ground on, but in that shared moment, bonds formed deeper than any trench. Amelia handed Alara a wildflower she'd plucked from the scarred soil. "Symbol of resilience. The earth holds us," she said, "but it also gives life." Alara nodded, tears tracing paths through the grime. "Up there I forgot how precious this ground is, how it anchors us all." She pressed the locket into Elias's hand. "Give this to your daughter. Tell her the skies watch over her, but the earth is where heroes stand." The platoon regrouped, their spirits fortified. No longer just soldiers, they were survivors, woven into the fabric of the land they defended. As another jet passed overhead, distant, untouchable, the men and women below saluted, not in awe but in solidarity. The battlefield, once a place of despair, now echoed with quiet resolve. Elias wrote to Lily that night. "The jet reminded me that freedom isn't just in the air, it's in the hearts of those who fight on the ground." Amelia penned lines to Julian, her words infused with newfound power. "We've touched the sky, even from the depths." In the end, the war's brutality couldn't erase the humanity that bound them. The earth, with its unyielding grip, had witnessed their courage, their losses, and their unbreakable will. And as the soldiers marched on, the jet's passage became legend, a powerful testament that even in the darkest battles hope could soar, only to root itself deeper in the soul.